大谷の契約金の元、もう取りましたよね。それは。
どうも大谷です。大谷翔平をはじめスター選手たちを次々と獲得し、13年連続でプレーオフへ進出。さらに MLB 史上初めて年間売上10億ドルを突破したロサンゼルスドジャース。今回大谷を語るのは、今年7月スポーツビジネスレディオに出演したドジャースの CEO スタン・カステン。なぜこの球団は勝ち続け、これほどの収益を生み出せるのか。そして一体どれほど大谷ビジネスで社長はウハウハだというのか。さらに MLB の戦力格差やピッチクロック、 ABS への本音まで語りました。社長、今回はどんな暴露をしてくれますか。一緒に見ていきましょう。社長、お金臭いです。
Let's talk about the business of the generational athlete that you have on your team, Shohei Ohtani. Just unbelievable. I mean, I could argue that it's the best signing in the history of pro sports with what he's meant to your team on and off the field. Since he's come on board, how has that changed your business? I mean, I get the announcements. I'm on your press release list. I see the new sponsors that you're signing and the new opportunities that he's brought you. But maybe as the person running the Dodgers, you can just describe how he's changed your business, not only in Los Angeles, but globally.
Well, I tell people that whenever we talked about signing a top level free agent, the marketing people will say, "Oh, this guy will be great. He'll add $5 or $10 million to our business." That's crap. It's never true. They're always overestimating that. That's not how that works, because baseball isn't a sport where one guy moves the needle. With very, very few exceptions, and Shohei is that exception. They wildly underestimated his impact, and so did I. I could not have, remember, he was playing 30 miles down the road,
right,
for 6 years, so we couldn't tell for sure. But the unique combination of the stature of the Dodgers and the Dodger brand, and the stature of Shohei and his brand, combined with a really, really good competitive team, is baseball putting its best foot forward. This is the best baseball can do to show itself off. You call Shohei a generational talent. I guess as a shorthand that'll work, but he's much more than that. Is he the greatest player ever? I mean, he's only played for like 10 years so far, so let's give him a few more years, but you're going to have to, any list of greatest players ever is going to have to start with him because he's so different.
I listened to one of your other interviews and you said something where I sat up in my seat and I was like, oh my gosh. You said 30% of the Japanese people who visit Los Angeles come to a Dodgers game, and in large part because they want to see Shohei Ohtani.
Or get on our tour. And now we do tours in 4 languages, 365 days a year. It's a big business. And they stop in our store. Our first in January, our store is open every day. And before Shohei got here, we would do about $3,000 a day in the store. And Shohei's first offseason, we did $30,000 a day. So he has an impact that we could not have predicted. Naturally, if you go to Japan, you get a better sense of his stature, because he's everywhere on every billboard and every commercial spot. But to combine that with his skills on the field, and to combine those things with his personality as a great, great teammate, people call him a unicorn. I think that's a better description than merely a generational talent.
I mean, his contract was, I think, 10 years, $700 million. Is it safe to say that he's already paid for his contract? It seems from afar that he's done that, but with sponsorships, ticket sales, $30,000 a day in merchandise in the team shop, it seems like he's paid for his contract already.
Well, I don't like to think of players in crass terms like that. Let me just say, in year 1, the cash portion of his contract was $2 million, and he safely cleared that hurdle. Let's just leave it at that.
Do you have more plans you've played games in Japan? I know you have 3 very high-profile Japanese players on your team. How are you continuing this unique relationship with Japan by playing games there, having Japanese come to your ballpark? How do you see that growing in the future?
Well, we think we've set the groundwork for it to start growing by itself. We do have 3 players who play for us Two and a half of them are pitchers. And so they don't play every day. Shohei thankfully does. And so people are already watching our games whenever they can get them. And so we have a generation of Japanese fans growing up as Dodger fans. We have talked to baseball about opening stores, and they have started to do that. They didn't do that before. Because remember, baseball owns all of our trademarks outside of the LA area. That's owned by Central Baseball. So they have to do those things. And all travel outside our market is orchestrated by baseball. And the other teams don't want the Dodgers traveling every year, and they shouldn't. We need to spread the wealth around and get people to be fans of all of our teams. And so we're not hurrying to go out to other countries. It's always a challenge. It's a rough trip and then to go back into spring training and then start the season. But yes, you should expect us to make other trips. I don't know when, I don't know how many, but baseball is always eager for us to do it. We just have to be mindful that we've got a bigger sport than just one team.
It's an interesting point you bring up about how baseball controls the marks. I mean, it seems like Shohei in the last few years has become the face of Major League Baseball, as should be the case. But that's got to help the Dodgers, too, when he's out there being pushed out by the MLB marketing machine as well.
Yeah, but we have other stars. Let's keep that in mind. We've got Aaron Judge, and we've got Bryce Harper, and on and on and on. And we've got big-time people in our sport. I'm hoping that the exposure that we get, which maybe starts with looking in on Shohei, also starts to get people to think about other teams. Hey, people in this country and in others like to adopt underdogs. And if we play a team that isn't doing well, maybe someone will want to become a fan of that team. So, we all went through that as we were becoming sports fans. So our exposure is good. Of course, it's good for us, but it's really, really good for baseball because it's a level of exposure we didn't have before. And we are working hard. Baseball is working hard on making that even more widespread in the very near future.
The other thing I really noted, I've been to a lot of sporting events in my life, as I know you have. I've never been to a sporting event where literally every single person in attendance had some type of Dodger gear on, a hat, a jersey, a t-shirt, the old players, the new players. It was unbelievable. I said to my friend that I was with, I'd like to have just the merchandise take from one night because you guys probably lead the league in merchandising.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah. Awful lot of 17s, a lot of 17 jersey. Used to be 5 for Freddie and 50 for Mookie, and they still sell a lot too, but we sell an awful lot of number 17s. I'll tell you an interesting stat that I was surprised at myself. Everyone in Los Angeles has a Dodger hat, right? I mean, everyone. If you go to the game, you have a Dodger hat, you bring it with you.
Right.
And yet we still sell Dodger hats every night. How many? 4,000 hats every night. That's the average over the course of a season. That's impossible. Why are we selling that many? But that's what we sell consistently. So keeping merchandise fresh with some different colors and different designs, that's all part of the thing that all of us in baseball do. We all borrow from each other. We work hard at best practices. Central Baseball does a good job of all of that. And it's certainly benefiting us. It's a big part of our business.
The other thing I've noticed that you guys do too is the giveaways, the premium giveaways, the bobbleheads, the collectibles, things like that. I think you guys do that as well as anyone. And when you have Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman on your team, people want those collectibles.
Well, the truth is, as an investment, it does keep people coming here. It also enables us to make more revenue because those nights are more popular, which drives up the price on the dynamic pricing model that we use. So it's something that pays off for our fans and it pays off for us. And so we lead baseball in giveaways and people say, gee, why? The Dodgers don't need to do it. And that may be true, but we think it's smart business practice to do it because it generates more fans at a higher price point, which also makes them happier. All of those things are good.
What about the overall financial structure of Major League Baseball? You've got teams with payrolls over $300 million, and you've got teams with payrolls of $80 million. Again, as someone who runs a franchise, you're blessed with the $300 million plus payroll. Do you want to see more parity, or would you rather have it stay the way it is?
No, we have said that we think the game could use more competitiveness. We think there are 10 or 15 teams whose fans tell us at the start of the year their team has no chance.
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not. I do know our fans and customers' perceptions are that, and that's our problem. Whether it's true or not is secondary to the fact that our fans believe that our game is structured such that the bottom half have no chance. We need to fix that. We need to do better. I think we can, and I think we can do better in a way that produces more revenue, which again will be good for players, and I hope we achieve that kind of outcome.
All right, some real innovations in Major League Baseball in the last few years. The pitch clock, which I absolutely love, and then ABS, which got implemented this year. Again, as someone who runs a Major League Baseball team, what are you seeing? What are you hearing about these changes?
Well, the two you've mentioned have been wildly popular, long overdue. I mean, we could see why the game was being lengthened by players getting out of the box every freaking pitch. They didn't do that in the 50s or 60s. And so that was a fix that seemed controversial or really wasn't and never should have been. ABS, you know, the oldest tradition in baseball is yelling, kill the umpire. You know, fans have been upset about umpires, but they are in every sport, by the way, having been in a bunch of them. We found a way to deliver to fans something that they like. And Rob Manfred said something interesting a while ago. We've added a minute to our game. It's a minute longer since the advent of ABS, but he says, but if we're adding a minute of things that fans like, that's good. And fans have been very, very receptive, very much supportive of the new ABS system.
Has the pitch clock changed kind of the business? It's like, hey, the game is moving so quickly. We need to sell this faster, or we need to sell beer faster, whatever it is. Because I've gone to some games and it does move a lot faster. And you look at your clock and you're like, it's already the 7th inning.
It does, but on the margins. And the trade-off is easily worth it. The fact that fans don't need to linger there for 3.5 hours or more, it has been wildly popular. And yes, it means some games end earlier. That's also a good thing. And when fans think they can get out in 2.5 hours, be there, get out, get home earlier, that's good for our business overall. And so, yes, it has caused some changes to the way and the timing of how we sell some food, but it's a tremendously positive trade-off for us.
ということでいかがでしたでしょうか。最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。また次の動画でお会いしましょう。